Alright, we're actually getting a game today. Fantastic. XTY versus board. This will actually tell us if board goes to the top four in contest kit, or if XTY will be the one to have to take number 3. Actually, oh my god, board made the game. Let's go. Tournament is suicidal in Minecraft. True. Maybe we should make chess in Minecraft. Yeah, joining, is he? Yeah, if all else fails, make Arvo play TJ. You're right. XTY isn't joining. Hold on, I'm going to send him a C message. XTY. Which one are you? Oh, he's joined. Thanks, far. Alright. Suck Dicker 1 versus XTY. Board starts with the sodium attack. Fantastic. I'm expecting. Oh, there's no grub. Board, has he studied the sodium attack? These are the questions. Okay, B5. Fantastic. Bianchizo's the queen. Okay, D5 takes... Queen takes is actually not a bad move. Because this knight is not on C3. Here I would just take. Yeah. And if bishop takes, then you can kick away the bishop. Knight F6. F5, an interesting move as well. Looking to play knight F6 behind the F pawn. Situationally weakening, but not a bad move. Bishop drops back, and I'm expecting knight here. Yeah, 22 hours ago. Okay. So, I'm not sure what X2Y is really thinking about. There's a few moves. Play E6 is a bit depressing. I was gonna say E6 is a bit depressing because you've put 5 of your 7 pawns on light squares. This light squared bishop kind of sucks. The good news though, this light squared bishop sucks as well. You can threaten to trap it actually with G5, G4. But G5, all they need to do is play G3 and it's fine. Use a check. Yep. Now you take the... You should take the knight here. Damage the structure. You'll be quite happy. But bishop back, conserving the pieces on the board is not such a bad thing either. Here you can play bishop f4, looking to trade off the dark squared bishop, but then you're left with 2 bad bishops, and that's not really ideal. So instead, what you would want is to trade off this dark squared bishop for a knight of some kind. Maybe knight f4 if takes, then you're very happy. And then to get rid of this light squared bishop, somehow maybe trading for a knight. So you're left with the dark square complexes. But instead we have g5 and bishop h5 check comes. The king has to move. King f8. Here, an attack can begin. Knight g3, not so bad. If takes, then takes, and you're quite happy with that, actually. This bishop is going to be a killer on the light squares. But g4, I'm not certain I like that move. There's an idea here. Bishop back, queen here, and mate. Well, knight f6, not a bad move. Attacks the bishop, and if the bishop goes, then this key is suddenly much more open. And then bishop here and c5. Quite a dangerous counter shot. You can't play it yet, because then the queen would hang at the end of the sequence, but f takes. This is under attack, but it's defended. This pawn, a bit annoying. You can actually play bishop here. Now look at these monstrous bishops. Here, bring the rook. It's probably the most principled move. But after knight takes queen take, bishop takes queen takes, there's this move here. 94, and that forks the queen and bishop. Instead, this breaking the pin, but it doesn't work. Just takes, and you win the pawn, and you threaten stuff. You can do this as well. I would probably want to get rid of the defender. Yep, and you can do this. You can actually take first. Slightly more forcing, but this, yeah. And then you win this back, and you're just up cleanly a pawn. But the board is open, and this light squared bishop may be able to come to life on this diagonal. You want rook g8, not a bad move. It was queen e5, I suppose. Give a check. No more checks after that, though. You give a check. King moves this way, probably. You do not want to move this way. It invites all sorts of bad news. Is there a mate there? Very close to it. This knight kind of needs to reroute all the way to Kingdom Come. But yeah, king here, most reasonable move. This knight is pinned. So maybe there's this idea here. Double up the rooks and win the queen. This bishop defends his pawn, but add another attacker and it won't be so easy. b3 doesn't really do much there, I feel. So blunders a bishop. Which is nice. c4. Board doesn't care that he's blundered a bishop. There's also blunders a knight, not a bishop. Yes, you're right. Yes, my bad. I was looking at a material count up the top. Yeah. He knows that if you want to simplify down, Just trade queens and you can't lose. When you're up a piece cleanly, it's difficult to lose here. This rook always pressures this and keeps the knight in check, and if ever king h1, then this comes with force. Hello, JG. So queen e4, as expected, looking for this cheeky fork here. Why did he not trade? He's down material. You don't want to trade when you're down material. Very, very, very interesting move. So that's a hanging pawn, that's a hanging pawn. More importantly, this attacks this. And there's not really a fantastic way to defend it because it's there and there. This is a good move, e5, just in time. If here, then you're actually quite happy as black because you've relocked the file. Honestly, I don't think that takes is such a bad move. There's this interesting idea here, f4 as well. This is pinned, so you can put pressure there. d5 makes a fair bit of sense as well. Hanging everything, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that's not a very good move. Just takes, and then this isn't a true fork because all the rook here needs to do is move, but certainly not a good position. I'm trying to see if you can sacrifice the queen, but I think the board is too open. Yeah, queen takes is the best move by far. What you'd really like is to have this knight move somewhere and pressure this pawn, but there's a rule in chess that you have to make 3 moves when you have this diagonal to be able to attack something like this. Also, king h1 needs to be played before even this. Not a fan of this. Free ass pawn. More importantly, free ass rook. I would not mind just taking the queen here then. Is there better? I don't think so. You just take the queen and you're happy. I mean, I suppose you can keep the queens on the board with this. Good move here. Well, look, I'll put it this way. It's a bit doomed. You just need to activate this bishop again. I'd like to see the knight move somewhere. Probably instead of queen f6, I would have preferred a knight move. But the bishop is still... the bishop needs to be defended. So maybe, in fact, rook g6 instead. Yeah, so you play rook g6. Yeah, you play rook g6 to defend. And then you look to run the king into the corner. Yeah, pawn takes just wins on the spot, basically. In fact, there's rook takes. Look at that move. Rook takes with check. Can't take because it's pinned. Very nice move. And if the king comes forward... if the king comes forward... is that better? I mean, I'm just seeing doubles up. Oh shit, I'm in the past. Queen f6, rook e4. Okay, rook e4 isn't horrible. It's just takes would have won on the spot pretty well. There was also knight h5 activating. Oh well, no, there isn't because of the pin. Here once again you can just take the pawn. This is still pinned. And in fact, here, there's queen back. And then king here, the chase is on, but bring the second rook to the party, and it's pretty scary. Although there's always the threat of this, so don't get checkmated. That'd be pretty bad. But yeah, rook takes e5. Definitely the best move on the board here. Instead, queen e3. Not quite sure what that does. Yeah. The fork potential, the issue is you need to defend it, and see this takes is just in time. Again, oh well, I suppose there isn't rook takes anymore. Trying to see here, because if this, then there's this, but also there's this fast. An hour and a half. Yeah, we're delaying your match until 2025. But in seriousness, this is the last one that we're going to play, I think. Okay, c3. This pawn is pushing. Rook here stops the pawn. You have to realize that this is now unlocked an attack. Jinx is alive? Not anymore. Rook c1 is probably the only move. Although there's an interesting idea here, rook b1, because this is protected. Rook b1. If rook b1 here, you push and you get the fork. Yeah, board sees it. Rook b1. And then if here you get the fork, if takes... it doesn't work because it takes. That's rough. Rook b1 doesn't work. I was hoping that it would, but... yeah, unfortunately, it comes with check. If it didn't come with check, it would work. But here, knight f6, fair move. Attacks the rook. Danger levels, look at that. Attacks the rook, attacks the queen. Queen has to move. Unfortunately, queen takes did work. Because if queen takes back, then the knight takes, and then you have extreme pressure because of the pin piece. This is one of the few times where taking with the higher value piece is probably better. But yeah, rook e5, finally played. If here there's this, but then after this it's a bit unclear. Ah, there's a deflection tactic. Look at that. Rook takes, because if queen takes and the rook is still attacking there, wow. Yeah, there's this. What a move. Queen d4. If blocks, rook takes. Queen takes. Check. Picks up the queen. This is board and XTY. Board is on the white pieces, XTY is on the black pieces. Yeah, it is, but that's cooler. Surely winning the queen is cooler. It's not forced, but it's cooler. Or we might see it. Surely he does not play king d6. There's two other squares, bro. Expected. There's this check. There's also rook takes, as you said. Why did I say yes? There's this check and rook takes. Both are fine. I think rook takes is probably better. Queen a7 check. Queen b8 check. Blend of the queen and resign. Big and true. Okay, well we can now. That doesn't work. Because this, and you have rook and knight versus rook. This pass pawn is a bit of an issue, but you stop it in time. Yeah, I mean everything wins here. It's a bit rough. Yeah, queen e5 works because of the pin. Can't take. But I mean, you can just simplify down and but this doesn't work actually because this. So you have to take here, here, here. Queen takes, queen takes. Oh, that doesn't work either. Okay, never mind. Something I like how this has turned out. Yeah, give a check with the rook. Now look at this. Yeah, that's a bit rough. So there's play here. And board goes all in and blunders another rook. Impeccable form. Here, yeah, just play like you can't play king f1. King h1 is a bit rough because queen here is mate. Yeah, you can't move the king or else you get mated. That's a bit rough. Yeah, this works. I'm not certain I like this coming to the center of the board. There's this check. Doesn't mate, but there's two squares available. And this at least picks up a rook. Yeah, queen f5 picks up maybe a pawn, but okay. takes the pawn at the very least. Here, there's this move. It's mate 2. No, it isn't. That's a fucking lie. Because the king can move this way, but this still wins either way. Bishop c6 first. It's fine. Here, you have to play this preemptively. Or just defend the d1 square somehow. Gives a check. Still in the balance. Yeah, king here, there's... This one's the rook, but, well, I mean, it doesn't win the rook. There's 2 squares that you can go to. It attacks the rook, but again, this rook has pinned this for so long. G4 is not the kind of move you want to play. You don't push pawns in front of your king. I mean, maybe board can hope for perpetual, but... This check as well. There's also this check. I feel like board's just trying to... Yeah, board's trying to get a threefold repetition and play... Like, if he could activate this knight, it would be very nice. There's check here. What? Okay, give him another check. I don't think that there's a defensive fortress here. This might actually be a draw. If board can keep giving checks and also somehow find a way to push the pawn once he's defended the d1 square, it, I don't want to say it, but, White's got winning chances. Like here? King f1. Bring the king out. Start moving this pawn. King f1? a3? a3 doesn't do much. You don't want to do a3. You just want to... but the queen always covers. So maybe when the king gets e1, you force a queen trade. And then maybe there's something here. Because there's a common endgame idea where rook versus knight, this is a draw. Theoretically. Board blunders, mate. Impeccable. If he really wanted to style on him, he could have taken the knight first, but that's okay. Okay, well, last game of round 8. Incredible. So Jinx lost the coin flip. And also because Jello has to. You weren't there. Jello has to play, and it's Jello versus EZC board. Okay, board is chest out, meaning that yellow Jello will take the dub here, and well, look. Either way, it's Jinx versus JG. We'll see. Is Jinx bad? Look, if this is actually the case, then Jinx, well, we'll update the standings with Jinx JG. Yes, it is. It is. Board lost 4 games in a row. That's rough. No, he only lost 3 games in a row. What a fucking liar. Of which one is an FF. He's lost 2 games. Look at this dude. Can you play chess on your phone? Yes. It'd be pretty shit if you couldn't play an 8x8 board game on your phone. Alright, I expect JG start with one of these moves. You know, he might actually play one of the 20 starting moves, but yeah, E4. Jinx is offline. Fantastic. Game will auto abort in 60 seconds. Jinx when the microwave is on. You're also not in the game, Jinx. Yeah, Jinx is getting hacked. Jinx with the multi-account. No, you don't. Let's see why. Oh, you kind of just dodged them. Maybe I'll do a higher bracket. No, there isn't. No prize. True, you get clout. Nice abort, bro.
The last time I streamed something that wasn't chess was 2 weeks ago. That's round. Yeah, I think you were. Hmm. Let's see, will Jinx finally... Ah, he does hop in. And he is online! Let's go! Jinx with the functional internet. What will he do? Okay, d4 from JG. Switching it up. e6, okay. French. Main move here is e4. Knight f3. Two knights French is a thing. Okay, Jinx playing his structure. Obviously, if takes and takes, here the best move is probably c3, and then you're playing some weird call system. Bishop d3 is not such a great move because it walks straight into c4. Yeah, Jinx with the opening prep. $10 Jinx won't play c4. Oh my god, he did! God bless. Bishop has to go back to e2. Here, there's all sorts of move. Knight here, knight here. Developing the knights. But what I would really like is to have two knights like this. Knight c6. Black, meanwhile, will look to fight back with the bishops. Maybe take a crack in the center with e5 when the time is right. Look at this, JG playing very reasonably in this coal system. Yeah, bishop d6 makes a lot of sense. I mean, bishop d7, of course, is a move, but it's a bit of a sad move. Actually, this idea, knight e4, jumping straight in, and then looking to crack open the center with e5. Right. We'll see. Yeah, bishop d6. Castles is probably the most fair move here. Normally in these positions, when the pawn isn't on c4, there is actually the idea of queen b3. But... Okay, knight g5, a bit of a step in the wrong direction, I feel. Much more common is knight e5, but you can't actually play that because there's too many defenders. Normally you'd prepare it with some, bishop on g3 or some other move, but we'll see. Probably most reasonable here is just h6. Knight g5 is a bit of a nothing move. In fact, you can probably let the knight just sit there. I wouldn't like to, but you probably could. And here there's an idea. Bishop h5, if takes, takes. That is mate being threatened. And it's unstoppable. Well, I mean, it's stoppable if you want to give up the queen, I suppose. But yeah, bishop h5. Want to move here? This M peasant. But h6, fair move. There is actually danger levels here because this knight isn't really doing much. But would I want to do that? Probably not actually a bad idea. There's an idea here, h4. Oh, that's rough. H4 takes. You open up the rook, you sacrifice the bishop, and you go for mate. Oh, that's nasty. It's losing, but it's an idea. Okay, so now the knight has to move itself. Most reasonable move this. Again, there is this h4 idea. I think it's pretty cool. But it's not a sound sacrifice. There is very little compensation. h4 takes. Knight has to move. Knight here. That's stoppable? I don't think so. You can still play h4 here. The only way to stop it is to give up some copious amount of material, I think. Move h4. But knight g e4, hanging a knight in one move, impeccable. Very well done by JG. I'll have to analyze that after the game because I need to know if that was actually a sound line or not. Like h4. I mean, it definitely isn't, but like I wanted to know if you could play h4. Oh, thank you for the follow. Okay, so I'm trading on that pawn there. This pawn can be argued that it's a bit weak, but it will take quite a few moves to actually go after it. Black is just much better here. Here, I would not mind seeing something like a6. Bishop d7 is not a bad move either. I wouldn't actually mind seeing knight here trying to trade off with this bishop. The only active piece in white's position. And it's tough. I'm trying to find some way for white to make counterplay here, but it's kind of dry. Yeah, white's a bit... Yeah, a4 is a fair move. Defending the pawn when the bishop eventually gets kicked around, it won't be able to be taken. Rook c8 attacks the bishop. But here bishop b3 looking for bishop c2 is probably not actually. Can queen come to g4 safely? It can but there's some threats. I'm not so certain that I'd like to have e5 played. Because black has developed all of their pieces at this point, meanwhile white has one developed piece and an uncastled king. And of course, because Jinx is up in material, JG will not want to look to trade pieces. Although it is 8 pawns to 7. He ain't looking too crash hot. It's not looking good, no. The queen b3. Definitely a move that makes sense. And although it's an ugly move, it's starting to look like f3 is necessary in the white position. Although this move makes me wonder, I wouldn't mind playing bishop a3 here and trying to trade off this. Probably take with the queen, actually. Obviously you lose one piece, but maybe bishop e2, queen c2, looking to go after this pawn. And if you can push these, then you can look for queen mate like that. But it hinges on a lot of things. And of course there's always this move knight here which you can block the diagonal with. h4 is actually a very good move here. You're looking to break open this, and it also activates the rook somewhat. The only issue is that if h5, well, h5 this way, it doesn't really work. Bishop a3 here immediately by JG. Need to trade. And takes. The only issue is that now there's no bishop to help this, and it's difficult. Yeah, rook takes is played, actually. Looking to lift the rook, but where to? Where to? Hmm. The thing is, black has done a very good job here getting 6 of their 7 pawns onto light squares. This light squared bishop kind of sucks. Meanwhile, white's position, 5 of their 8 pawns are on dark squares, meaning that this light squared bishop, if something like this, will come in and wreak havoc. But, again, it is not so simple. Knight f5, very fair move. Just developing piece. But g4 comes, and that comes with a bit of venom. Because if takes, there's actually this idea h5. And if takes, the rook gets active. And then suddenly, it's not so easy. But g3 played instead. Bit of an unnecessary move. Had to go push the gas there. Now I'm struggling to see how white breaks through. It's now 6 of 7 pawns on light squares. And is now 6 of 8 pawns on dark squares. But it's not easy for black to break through. This is a close position, so you have to find pawn breaks that are beneficial. I don't think I would mind seeing rook e8 and then looking to play for e5. At the moment, the white king is safe, but it's not so easy. The only issue is that if here, you can't play this immediately, because then you lose the rook. So instead, maybe you prepare this, and then you play knight to d6 first. But it's d5 played by white, and I'm not certain I like that move. e5 played by black, I'm not certain I like that move. Take back sent. Take back accepted. Knight d6 played instead. But here takes, and well, white does not want to take there. We'll put it that way. So instead, what can white do? Is castling actually a good idea here for white? There's this idea of voluntarily undeveloping the bishop to f1 to play bishop to h3 and try to trade off this very powerful bishop, and then to castle. But instead, bishop e2, the square is not so good for the bishop because it can't go here or here, or here, or here anymore. I would have preferred to see f1 looking to go to h3. But we'll see. But g5, that's weakening to the king. I do not like that. Just take the pawn. Take the pawn, then play rook takes. What is this move? Two things hanging. Both are fine to take. And now it's actually JG who has equalized the material. And perhaps better than rook takes is this attacking the rook immediately. Rook has to move one way or another. Yeah, maybe instead of takes here, bishop takes immediately was better. But g takes is played. Now, oh, take back. Apparently Jinx did not want to play f6 there. Fair enough. We'll see what he plays instead. I hope it's not f5 because then they're still en passant. All sorts of funny horse moves. Here there's queen takes. Queen takes is not so good. On my chips. So let's see. Pawn takes. Now I don't see an issue with rook takes. And in fact, queen takes here is a big idea. Well, first you have to play rook takes. Or bishop takes. Either work. Queen takes. I'm not so certain I like this. Oh dear. Bishop e6. And it suddenly becomes a bit difficult for the queen to move. Because he can't take this, because the knight takes. It's a good idea, yeah, but you have to ponder your options. You have to. Chess is a move order game. Yeah, there's this, I suppose, but starting to play with fire. And in fact, we're very lucky that this doesn't walk into the fork here, because this is defending it. This is an absolute slugfest. You need to play next, sure. Because if ever rook takes, then this is going to be mate. So it's a race against time for both players here. It's a race against time, and I'm trying to see how it can be black that comes out on top. I see this. Takes. So here, here. Just rook takes, and I think white is... Ah, but this keeps the queen here now. And so it's not so easy. When do you go to work? Few minutes. Well, good news. There's 2 minutes on Jinx's clock. Were you versing? There's no point. What? This is threatened mate. You have to trade the queens. Wait, but you can't trade the queens because it's mate anyway! Didn't Snowpoint FF? You're right. Oh boy, good news. You win. Congratulations. JG has forced mate here. You can't trade the queens or else you lose. And Jinx, desperately looking for some way to save this. Unfortunately, there is none. Forced mate. What a comeback by JG. Take back sent, take back declined. JG knows he's going to get the dub here. It's in this kind of position that Kit would probably offer a draw. But yes, here there's mate. Congratulations, what a position there. And it is JG who does win against Jinx. So really, it's not like anything changed. So, now we have Molnea mid-side. Let's see. Senpai Dark Wolf. Pull Snowpoint? Alright. Time to pull up on Snowpoint. I think he's out. He might be at my money. I think he's at my money. Unlucky. King could have moved right after Queen trade. I suppose so, but the rook just gets closer. If we go here and we look at the analysis. Yeah, here, let's say the queen's... Wait a minute, hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. I suppose, but I mean... Oh shit, you're right. Queen trade and then not moving the king. Yeah, you're not wrong here. Switch b4 here. Let's say you give a check here. Here. Let's say this. Probably better is actually staying on this file, right? Because obviously you have to threaten mate. Apparently there's g5. Yeah, I want to move the king in this position, but apparently not. And it turns out that white doesn't actually have anything here. Yeah, maybe I am bad. You're right. Ah, yes. Anonymous. Molnea. Anonymous. Okay, Molnea is playing under the tag Anonymous. Fantastic. Who do you play next, Jinx? You play, Kit. Oh dear. Oh no. It is Molnaya. Molnaya, the greatest player in the world with the white pieces. There's mate in 2? 3. There's mate in 3 here. It's plus 10 actually. Well, you look for, well, here, and then there's some checks. Here, this is check. Here. It's not mate, never mind, it doesn't work. Ah, but there's this, which hangs the queen. Thankfully, the other person's queen is also hanging. Yeah, yeah, you're right. So we're going to ignore the fact that there's checkmate on the board, but bishop. That's okay. Yeah, 1462 question mark. This is the position of all time. In fact, it's such a position that I would argue that it might be one of the positions of all time. I can't wait to get this in a puzzle. Honestly, I think that Molnea should have started with f3 g4. Just seeing if local man would have gone for it. Oh no. No. Why would they do this? Why would they do this? Oh no. Let's let's take a quick look at this. There was mate in 6 here. Yeah, there was mate in 1 for the entire time. I think that was the best game of the tournament. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Tet Maps. I'm gonna send Murphs a message on Steam and see if he responds. Unlike other people, he's not online. Fantastic. In fact, he's so not online that if I look on Steam, all 3 of his alt accounts are not, and his main isn't. Incredible. In fact, his main was last online a week ago. Who won? I have microwave on. Was it Molgoat? Probably. He doesn't know. Okay. Well, we're probably not getting Tet Murphs. Kazuma left. Wait, who were we giving? Ah, yeah, we were giving. So either way, Hayden actually does get the point there. Kit Double Jinx. So Train Jumper. Currently 21 points above the median. Is actually physically incapable of being caught. But that's okay. Alright, let's see. Is Tat online on Steam? Do I have Tat on Steam even? The answer is no. Let me send a message to Tat. Hold on, surely the voice call will get him online.
Hello?
Hello, yes, you have a game against Maps.
Oh, true. Alright.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, we're gonna need a game link for Murph's Tat. The question is, does Murphs know how to make a game link? Does Tat know how to make a game link? Yeah, I'll need to get everyone's landline. Are you going to call Snowpoint, or have I been dog? I called Snowpoint. He didn't pick up. I don't work for a government agency, but I do work for the bank, which is close enough. I do a little asset acquisition. Right, Turt versus Murphs. Knight f3? There's knight f6. Surely we get the game of the century. Surely we get the game of the century. Right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can transpose. G6. G6, C4. Knight here. Bishop here. D4. D5. The Grunfeld. Okay. Well, we're transposing into either Queen's Gambit declined, semi-Slav, or rather a Slav. Could still be just a Grunfeld. You know, this is actually a defense. Into the Queen's Gambit. There is a c5 defense. But instead we get a Queen's Gambit declined. Knight c3. Let's see if Merfs will play the Rogozin or the Classical. Can we zoom in on this? Yes. Surely Merfs plays the Rogozin. Come on, mate. Ooh, I can get blue. Oh, very cool. Alright, c6. We got a semi-Slav. And here in the semi-Slav, there's a few moves. Bishop g5, g3, e3. There's the immediate takes, which is not so good. Queen b3 is a move. All sorts of moves. There's bishop f4. But e3 is played. And I don't really like e3 before moving the bishop. Locking in the bishop feels a bit restrictive to me. I would have preferred to see something like bishop f4, bishop g5. But that's okay. Because we will see now. Okay, bishop d6. Nice. So bishop d6, there's actually this idea, if here, then you go back here. And then the bishop stays there forever. c5 is a reasonable move, but here there's basically one move. It's fair to say. You want to patrol this because there's no way that castle is long, so... Instead, bishop e7, it's slightly less active because you're looking into this pawn, but there's always chances after this that the bishop will come alive on this diagonal. You kind of need to move your knights in like this. You're gonna look for this pawn break here, b6, trying to split the pawns here, maybe get the queen out to here, be a bit happy. But we shall see. Yeah, bishop d3, very fair move. Just develop at knight. Castles is played, fair enough. Again, I would not mind seeing knight e5 here. But castles as well, not a terrible move. b6 played, look at this, Merfs knows he has to make a pawn break here. Try and remedy this space disadvantage. I believe he will be doing quite well after if takes. And obviously if not, then he's going to take himself and then he will have the large center. Knight e5 is a move. but you kind of have to deal with this tension. Here probably the best move is b4, keeping everything closed. Just taking space, being very solid. b4 also has a secondary idea of meeting e5. But this is an extremely closed position, all 8 pawns on both sides. But instead, e4, blowing up the center, I'm not certain I like this, mostly because this is a fork. It doesn't work because it's defended this way, but this can be a fork. So there's this. Now e5. Here there's danger levels. Takes here. I wouldn't even call this that weird of a pawn structure. But yeah, takes here is interesting. I don't actually think it works. Takes. It doesn't work. But we'll have to see if Turd is able to calculate for that. But thankfully, never punished. Now you can play knight back. But actually an interesting idea, knight e8. Okay, this now works because of the capture chain. Or not, never mind that, it doesn't. But if here, bishop takes, and this will still be hanging, and then this will come with at least some force. Here you have to move the knight yet again. There's actually knight g4 looking to take this pawn. But again, someone is breaking into a car down the street. Nice. Yeah, knight d7 by thought. Murph sacrifices the knight. Russian, I don't speak. 2 pawns for the knight. Yeah, well, maybe you should simply contact a moderator and ask. Well, we are in position, very difficult. There is interesting move, of course, must develop pieces, so bishop to a6, very strong move. The 2 bishops looking down at the king side, very scary, but is not so easy, of course. Maybe there is, knight e1, queen h5, and this is interesting position, of course, but is not so easy as there is c4, queen c2, there is checkmate, and Merv hangs checkmate in one move. Very good. And with that, Ted actually takes a spot above Merv's. That was inspiring. Okay, who next? Kit double jinx. Alright, let's see. Double jinx. Your online chess time. Yay. What the fuck? Double jinx calls me on Steam. Midside, not very cool. Maybe I should have done it 7 rounds, but that's okay. Cummings says Kit. Kit in probably a match, maybe. I don't know what it would be. Wouldn't be on set O. Online Terrorizer, let's see. Jinx is typing a message. Pop in, Kit has posted the link. Right. Very good. E4. Surely we will see the Kit special. Jinx doesn't know how to defend against it. What if he places it? Surely he has studied it. Right? Right? But there is actually a counter shot here. He defended it better than me. I'm not so certain. Yeah, there's this idea it loses to f3, but queen takes, and here. Look at this, Jinx. Why can't queen g2? He can queen g2. I think there would be no sweeter victory than what, beating Kit when he plays the wayward queen attack and you play g6. It'd be pretty funny. Kit's really calculating here. I just take the knight, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You'll still be up base. I mean, not for long, but you'll be up a piece. But yeah, there is actually the idea here. It doesn't work. So you have to do this, this, this. And look for the mate there, but... Okay, take the rook. I'm not sure why Jinx isn't taking the rook. There we go. You take the pawn, then you take the knight. Okay, just take the knight. Taking the knight comes with check. Now I'm sure you're wondering, how do I defend this position? I believe the answer is you can't. Oh wait, there's king d8. No, king d8 walks into mate in 1.
Oh, there's d5. You have to sacrifice the pawn. d5, and then bishop e6. Jinx gives up his queen. Impeccable. Take back send. Take back decline. Oh no, you can't do that to a man, Kit. Considering how many takebacks Kit has played in this tournament, you can't do that to a man. But there is still this move. d5 takes and then bishop e6. Black offers a draw. Jinx is offering Kit a draw. White declines the draw. Extremely PE, but it's fine. He's only down the queen. A queen can't really be worth that much, right? Okay, now he has to play bishop e6. And that holds everything together, if only for a moment. Good news, Jinx finds the only defense. Is there a way to trap the queen? I don't think so. Are there any checks? No. White resigns. Black resigns. Yep, that's rough. You know, again, you can't even blame Kit anymore. But yeah, that's rough. Okay, who comes next? Brandon Rentai. Hey man, wanna play against Rentai? You're never getting a take back from L9 Terrorizer 111XD. Kit's ego is dwarfed only by the size. Of his head. Send the invite says. Oh. Yeah, make it. Hold on. Can I call Rentai? Is Rentai here? Hold on. Oh, I can't even. Wait, can I call Rentai? Oh, I can call Rentai. Wow. Come, Rentai, friend or foe, come to this place where destiny is made. Okay, Rentai not pick up. JGX2Y. This is actually XTY's opportunity to get into third place and overtake Kit. If he wins here, he overtakes Kit. And I think that's pretty impressive. JG's not here. And I don't think that XTY is either, to be quite fair. What is XTY's
Steam name. Not certain, but I don't think he's online. No, who is Delcorin is? Okay, I'm back, but thankfully the charade is not here. Okay. What's happening? Oh, Kush Raider is here. Welcome back. So this is JG white pieces, XTY black pieces. Someone make the game. Oh, Rentai's here. We need the Rentai yen. Echo is black. Yeah. Ten plus 10 Rentai, not 10 plus 15. Can take 10. PVHE. Yeah, I think that if XTY wins against JG, that would be a pretty epic way to win. To beat Kit's third place. I think that would be very funny. Hold on, let me tell Brandon to.
I'm gonna be
Brandon,
old
you're
Oh,
time.
getting this.
shit.
Brandon, you're
Yeah,
getting this.
bro.
Give him
No
10
more
minutes.
League of
Give him 10
Legends.
minutes.
Oh, I'm
No
gonna
more
pro-
League of Legends.
No. What's your
um,
favourite game?
I don't give a fuck.
Alright, you know what that reminds me of?
I'm gonna run this game into the ground
Fucking
so
Farmville.
fast.
Alright, let's see. Alright. We had a
in exchange, Kara. Yeah, knight f3 is a move, d4 is a move, d4 is played, knight c6. Knight f3 is a move, g3 instead. Definitely, this pawn isn't hanging, but it's perhaps not quite what I'd like to see. But Brandon thankfully seems to know all about his opening. I need to zoom in on this. Bishop g4 attacks the queen. You can just play knight f3. Knight e2 is a move as well. Yeah, e6 is a good move. I would not mind seeing h3 here. Just take away a bishop, win the bishop pair. Brandon playing quick chess and principled chess, which I think is very interesting. Queen takes. Here there's bishop b4, there's bishop bishop d6 for black. Bishop d6 is played. Here I would just castle as white. Oh, there's actually an interesting idea. You play bishop g5 and you long castle, and then you start pushing your pawns on the king side. So f4 and that sort of thing. Because obviously, black is going to be castling kingside, and not castling queenside. But instead, castle's normally reasonable move. I'm surprised that Rentai doesn't want to make a minority attack happen with a6 b5, but you know, some people just don't like minorities. Okay, so castles. And here there's the idea of takes. If we play takes, and then he reroutes the bishop to here, there is a mate threat over here. It's easily blocked by g6, but you know. Okay, pawn hangs, nice. There is no danger levels here, unfortunately. This is the best square for the queen. This isn't a bad square. You have to be careful of this, but there's no fork because of this knight here, so you could put the queen in the middle of nowhere here. Yeah, queen d2, fair enough. I'm not. Yeah, I guess it works. If this bishop was not here, then this would win the queen. But no. Oh. We'll have to see. Queen b6. Here, obviously the knight was hanging, so you have to deal with that. I'm not so certain what to say, really. What I'd really like is this bishop here instead. This pawn is tender. And black's position is superior.
I have to say, Rook D1. Probably looking to just trade off queens here, alleviate some pressure.